Welcome to Mr. Kreepto Tales, where horror comes to light. Tonight, I'll be sharing some of the darkest story from Mysterious Road. Tales of fear and encounters on paths where danger waits in the shadows. So, we're diving into a chilling story from Canada's hauntingly named Highway of Tears. It's a place shrouded in mystery, where too many people have vanished without a trace. And one story stands out above the rest. A story that will make you think twice before stopping on an empty highway. In British Columbia, there's a long stretch of road known as Highway 16. For years, people have whispered about its dangers. Travelers avoid it at night, as it's infamous for mysterious disappearances and strange sightings. And for Sarah, a 19-year-old college student, this highway would become the road to her worst nightmare. One late evening, Sarah was driving down Highway 16. She'd left her friend's place later than expected and hoped to get home quickly. But as her car glided down the dark, empty road, an unsettling feeling crept over her. The road was silent, and shadows from the trees stretched over her path like fingers reaching for her car. About an hour into her drive, Sarah's car began to shudder. She looked at her dashboard, and the gas gauge was almost empty. Confused, she was certain she'd filled up before leaving. She pulled over to the shoulder and switched off her car, hoping a quick restart might fix the issue. But as she sat in the eerie quiet, she felt a chill as if someone was watching her. Her gaze drifted to her rearview mirror and froze. Standing on the edge of the road, barely visible in her taillights, was a figure, just standing there. Sarah's heart raced. She told herself it was probably just a hitchhiker, but something felt wrong. The figure was too still, too silent. She fumbled to restart her car, but the engine wouldn't turn over. And then, she heard it. The faint sound of footsteps crunching on gravel, approaching her car. Panic gripped her. She locked her doors and tried dialing 911, but her phone had no signal. The footsteps stopped right outside her window, and she dared to look up. A man stood inches away from her window, his face barely visible in the dim light. His eyes seemed empty, his expression blank, but somehow menacing. He lifted his hand and slowly dragged his fingers down the glass, leaving faint, foggy trails. Just as Sarah was about to scream, headlights appeared in her rearview mirror. A truck was coming down the road. She frantically waved her arms, hoping the driver would stop. The truck slowed, and as it neared, the figure at her window stepped back into the darkness. The truck driver got out, looking concerned. Sarah wasted no time and jumped into his vehicle, telling him everything as he drove her away. She looked back once, but the figure was gone, swallowed by the shadows. Sarah later learned about the horrors of Highway 16, the countless people who had disappeared along it. Some say there's a stalker who waits in the darkness, targeting lone travelers. Others believe it's a ghost of one of the many lost souls seeking revenge or justice. Sarah never found out who or what she encountered that night, but she's never taken Highway 16 again. The next time you find yourself alone on a dark road, remember Sarah's story. Sometimes the shadows aren't empty. They might be watching you, waiting for you to stop. Stay safe out there. And remember, the world is filled with unexplained horrors.